Hello everybody. If you've been following this channel for any time, then you know that I like to perform experiments. I pretty much do all sorts of experiments, but most of the ones I've shown on here have been with food. And for today, we're going to experiment with tomatoes. Actually, this isn't tomatoes, is it? It's potatoes. We're going to experiment with potatoes. Okay, one of the viewers had pointed out that potatoes are fairly cheap, and indeed they are. I think I got like a 5-pound bag for about $3.37 or something like that from Walmart. So I've taken out 3 potatoes, and what we're going to do today is actually try to make some homemade fries, and then possibly some homemade potato chips. And the thing about it is, because I'm making it myself, I'm planning on baking it and not even using any oil, because I think the oil just adds fat and other stuff that you don't need. We're going to go very minimalistic. All we're going to do is just cut up or slice up the potatoes and cook them as is. I know some people say you should add salt and other stuff to the fries, and you can do that, I suppose, if you like salt on your fries. But I'm going to be eating my fries with ketchup, which already has a lot of salt. So basically, I'm just trying to find ways to save money as well as make food that may taste better and maybe a better option than buying the stuff that you can pick up in the stores. So without further ado, let's begin our experiment. Alright, I think the easiest thing to make is actually fries. So let's begin by making some fries. And we could conceivably just cut the potatoes. I guess they might even have machines or stuff that you can use to cut the potatoes into little fries. But I'm going to cut them into strips because I think they're easier. This is obviously a steak knife, but I'm using it because I like the size. So we can cut it into quarters. We can cut it even smaller than quarters. Let's cut it in quarters, and then from the quarters we'll cut eighths. Okay, or leave it as quarters. That makes it nice and thick. Of course, you can also just simply bake the potatoes. Alright, so we cut it into quarters, going lengthwise because I want it nice long strips. And this is actually a little thick, so that beep you heard is me heating the oven up to 365 degrees. I'm going to try to bake everything at 365 degrees. So here, I think I'm trying to make them into manageable bite-sized chunks. So that's one. Let's make another stick. So we're going to have, from one potato, we're going to make about 8 strips. So these are, I guess, potato wedges, 7 or 8. Let's make this one smaller. I think the smaller we make it, the faster it can cook. So we get 8 of these. And what I'm going to do is place them onto the, I'll set these aside for now. Actually, I need to set them out of the way. So I'll just set them aside here on, I know you can't see it here. Let me try to show it to you. You guys might want to see what I'm actually doing here. But essentially, I'm going to just lay these out here to be cooked up. And that's our potato wedges for our experiment. So let's go to part 2. Now what we're going to try to do is make some, I'm going to try to peel some potatoes into little potato fries. Not fries, but chips. So you can see I just simply took a peeler. And those of you who have seen me in a previous video, I am so amazed with this invention. You can actually peel things just by doing that. So what we have are thin little strips like this. Notice I'm leaving the skin on there because I think the skin is one of the most nutritious portions of the potatoes from what I remember hearing about when I was a kid. So if it is true, we're going to leave it on there. But also I do kind of like the taste of it, and it gives it kind of a unique look. So I'm cutting little potato chips, I guess you could call this. Aren't these funky looking potato chips? But what we're going to do is make chips and try them out. And these are like pretty cool. They're not too thin, but they do actually look pretty cool. They look like potato chips, sort of. So, I figured out if I should go diagonal. I should keep trying to do the semi-oval shape. I didn't want it too long because I didn't want the chips too large. It's actually kind of waving on its own. It's not like staying straight, so that's kind of weird. But, and so we're gonna have all these potato chips that I've made. Oops, flew off. Let me wash this. Now the potato chips. I suppose if you wanted really flat, straight ones, you could cut thin slices using a knife. But I think using this peeler gives me like a really nice, you know, good shape here. Now the potato chips, I may add some salt because I think that makes them taste like chips, you know. Some of these don't even look like chips, they look like wedges. I don't know how I'm going to cut this other one here. I want to cut my finger. You can see grabbing this stuff, it's flying everywhere. I don't know why she fell on the floor here. I might just leave this as a little potato wedge. I think I will go ahead and salt the chips and see how they come out. But we're essentially just slicing little chips. See if we can make our own homemade potato chips. They are kind of weird. And this we'll leave as a funky wedge, maybe. I don't know. Or use a knife and cut it into little chips. I don't know. I think I'll leave that as a wedge. The pseudo funky wedge. So we have all these potato chips. I got a third potato, which I think I'm not going to need. I've run out of room to put it onto the cooking surface. So what I'm going to do is spread out these chips and actually sprinkle some salt on them. Just a little bit of salt, table salt, to try to give it some flavoring. I suppose you could use anything, put any kind of salt or any kind of thing that you want on there for flavoring. But I'm going to go with, could even put garlic on there. How does garlic taste with potatoes? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to try it today. You want to go with more normal seasoning, which is salt. So I'm taking some public iodized salt, putting some in my hand here, so I can control the sprinkle, and simply sprinkling it. Sprinkling the salt. This is kind of probably making it bad, you know, putting salt on everything here. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. And I'm just mixing things up. Flipping it over, sprinkling a little bit more salt. Giving it some salt. Hope I'm not making it too salty. Alright, I had too much salt, I think. And now it's going to be a matter of covering it. And I suppose if you didn't want salt on your potato chips, you wouldn't need to even put any salt on there. But to cook the potato chips, we're simply just going to lay them down here on this aluminum foil here. And it would be cool if we could have like air, you know, to circulate both sides, but I don't have that, so I'm just kind of setting them down. So this is how I just plan on making my own homemade potato chips. They're a little bit thicker than the ones you buy in the stores in the bags, but I suspect that if I really wanted to, I could have peeled it thinner, you know, but I was pressing down really hard, trying to get kind of, thick chips. I'm wondering if my wedges here might need some salt. Maybe I do need to put a little bit of salt on it. I always see them use salt when you buy it in the store. So maybe the salt should be added. Alright. This is certainly looking different. I don't think I've ever seen potato chips made like this. Whole potatoes. But we're going to certainly find out if it works or doesn't. And I think I will go ahead and sprinkle. I wasn't planning on putting salt on there, but I'm wondering if I should. You know what? I'm not going to put salt on my wedges. I'm just going to go ahead and bake them. And then we'll go ahead and try it all out and see what it tastes like. So it's just a matter of putting everything into the oven at this point. And there we have our potato wedges and potato chips that we're just going to let bake at 365 degrees. For how long? I don't know. I'm going to be checking it every so often and seeing how it looks. Once it looks brown, I'm pretty sure it's done. So I'll let you know roughly the time. It's probably been, what, about, well, 1 minute since we put it in there, less than a minute. So let me check the clock and I'll post updates. Stay tuned. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's take a look. And it looks like we still got a long ways to go, don't we? So I'm just going to let this continue to cook a little bit more, and we're going to keep checking on it, okay? Well, apparently I didn't do a very good job of keeping my eye on the potato chips. You can see they are, like, burnt. So it's been about 30 minutes or so. And I think the potatoes themselves are still not done, the wedges. They still look kind of not cooked yet. But the chips themselves look like they cooked too fast. Let me try it out anyways. It's a little bit burnt. I don't know if you can hear it crunching. It's actually not bad. So, what to do? I think the potato chips are going to have to be cooked at lower heat. I might try like maybe 300 or something. And keep my eye more closely watching them. Because sadly they got burnt here. But they're still kind of moist. Which means they aren't fully cooked. It's not bad. Actually pretty good. I think just the right amount of salt on it. The wedges themselves, I think I'm going to let it cook some more. So I'm going to remove the potato chips, let the wedge cook some more, and eat the wedges with some ketchup. Alright, it's been about 50 minutes. I think that's enough time. I don't know though, the fries still don't look like brown. I'm wondering if they are ever going to turn brown unless I put some kind of coating on it. I'm going to go ahead and try one and see what it tastes like. See if it's really done or not. Alright, it's been like nearly an hour. It's been 50 minutes, 51 minutes. I took one of the smaller wedges just to see if it's cooked inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a... Ooh, it's hot. And cut it and see what it looks like inside. Feeling like it's cooked. And it looks to be cooked. So let me go ahead and have a taste. For the most part, I'd say it's cooked. I think for the potato wedges, I'm going to need to turn the heat up. Next time I'm going to try like 425 or something. 400, 425. And for the potato chips, I might try that same temperature, but get the potato chips out faster. Because they obviously are thinner and burn. So let me try my wedge now with some ketchup. And see what it tastes like. This is a homemade potato wedge with no seasoning on it, just potato and ketchup, which already has lots of salt and sugar and some other flavoring. And you know what? I like it. So this is something I'm going to be doing more when I just need something to eat other than rice. I'll probably just go ahead and make up some potato wedges. Maybe make some hamburgers to go with it. So look forward to one of those meals coming up. Till next time, everybody, I hope you're all eating well, staying safe, and willing to try out your own cooking experiment. Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.